Today, Starliner is finally on Earth. Yesterday, it left the International Space Station, and throughout the night, it landed. So let's have a look at this history of the stories behind what has happened in the last few months. Perfect. So let's have a look. So there we go. So on June 5th, 3 months ago, we have the rockets. I think it was an Atlas rocket that sent the Starliner from Boeing. It's a capsule. There were two astronauts in there, and the astronauts were here. We have here Butch Wilson. I forget. Yeah, I hate when that happens. Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams. There we go. So they went to the space station with the Starliner. Interestingly enough, the launch was delayed a little bit. However, it was not a big deal because they finally got to the space station the day after. So on June 6th, here you can see the capsule is coming in. That was a success. Here we can see the capsule going to the space station. That was also the approach. At some point, they were not quite sure because of the boosters. They also noticed that there were some helium leaks on the capsule as they came in. But look at this, it was able to attach itself to the space station without any problem. So that was an amazing success. So Boeing with the Starliner did something quite amazing. There we go. And they attached themselves. So what happens though is that they were supposed to be there for 8 days. And then from there, they noticed that there were some helium leaks. Helium is used to cool down the rockets and the boosters and also cool down the environment for the astronauts when they come back to Earth, because don't forget the temperature is rising quite a bit. So what happened on September 5th, so 3 months after the two astronauts went to the space station, NASA decided that it was the parameter of success, parameter of reliability on the capsule, also the statistics on the performance. They were not up to par. They were not sure enough for the safety of the astronauts. So they decided to have the Starliner come back to Earth without the astronauts. So first of all, it was for their safety. But the next question here is, when will these astronauts come back to Earth? So that's a good question. So they'll come back to Earth through with SpaceX. So here you can see we have the cap here that is open, and this was the tunnel between the two. Look at this. We have here the capsule that left nicely. You're going to see some boosters here on the side aligning here the Starliner to make sure that it is leaving the space station without any problem. So within 15-20 minutes yesterday, they did their tests. There were about 12 tests with the boosters to allow the capsule to leave. They were able to go out. So there's an ellipsoid. There's like an approach ellipsoid around the space station. They had to get out of that. So this is like the safety zone around the International Space Station. And that's about, it's like a cigar, 2 kilometers by 2 kilometers by 4 kilometers. So it was able last night at about between 6 and 7 yesterday night to leave the space station. So that was quite nice. I'm quite proud of Boeing there. So let's see if I can just show you something to keep in mind. There we go. The reason why the Starliner had to go is that in order for the next capsule to go and get the 2 astronauts, SpaceX, who had the mission with 4 astronauts coming to the space station in September of this year, will only send 2 astronauts, leaving 2 empty seats. So the SpaceX will send their capsule to the space station. 2 astronauts will stay and 4 will come back. But if you look here, what's interesting is that on the space stations, there are like 4 decks, 4 parking spots for 4 capsules. 2 are from the Russian Space Agency. The other one is the American Space Agency. And one of them is used by a container where they brought food to the space station a couple weeks ago. So that spot is taken. But here, the Dragon 9, I think it's Dragon 9, coming to the space station in September, does need a parking spot. But during that time, Starliner was attached. So it was important for the Starliner to leave the space station. So here we have, so during the night, we had the capsule. So as you can see, we have several vectors, making sure that we have a capsule that can come back to Earth. Here it is upside down from our view, but at some point it needs to take the booster and flip it because we have the heat shield on this side. And so they were able to do that. And I think it was around 11 o'clock last night. So let's see, I have here at 1:03. So I'm just showing you the key part, which is always fun. So here, an hour and 3 minutes here of this video here. This is from NASA, by the way, and I'm going to put the links in the edited version of this video indeed. So here you could see, so there's a section where it comes through the atmosphere, lots of heat. There was a lot of, and we no longer can contact them with radio communication. So after it came back with the communication, they realized communication was good. But as you can see, we still see a trail here. So we still have friction of the atmosphere, and there's a trail during the time that the capsule is slowing down. Now, the reason why they waited for they did not want to have the astronauts coming is that even though there's a heat shield, they need the helium to cool the space for the astronauts to make sure that even if it's more than 1,000 degrees outside, it is a livable space inside. So yeah, as you can see, it's coming closer. There's still friction, and the friction is used actually to slow down the capsule. Very nice. We have some views. So here we have the capsule coming with some, you could see the light from the friction. And I'm going to, let's see if I can, I did like this one here. Look at the diffraction of the light here due to the lens of the camera. Keeping in mind that this was done at night, and therefore they're using infrared cameras to make it work. So let's see. So we have, let's see. So as soon as they were low enough, let's see, they were able to get the first 2 parachutes to start slowing down, but also to allow the next 3 larger parachutes to open. As you can see, we can start to see that the capsule here is great. So if we know that the outside, the integrity of the outside is still good, but we don't know much more about, so here the heat shield was taken out. We don't know what is the state inside the capsule. That will be part of what we will be learning. So you could see it's coming down. This is infrared. These are infrared cameras, so that it's not like really light. But you can see the capsule is going well. We can see the details on the capsule, which is exciting. And here very soon, so it's coming down, and you could see that we have the clouds here. So here it cooled down enough, and it's approaching the ground. I think it was at in about a few seconds, and there we go. So last night, the Starliner came back. So it's quite nice to see how it went. We had some pictures here to see how we can still see the hot or the warmer part under the capsule. Here we can see the trucks with the infrared cameras going to get the capsule. And this is the information we get at this time. So this will be sent to Cap Canaveral to be able to do some studies to make sure to see the integrity of the outer hull. And then they're going to look and see how things were inside. The first success is to bring it back, keeping in mind that Boeing, with their project, are learning every time something happens. And we just hope that it will be a success and that the inside was okay. If it is okay, then we're learning from it. If it's not okay, then it will confirm that the helium leak that happened, or helium leaks that happened in the last few months, would have prevented a safe return for the astronaut. But regardless, the astronauts are safe, and that's the key thing right here. So this is the first topic I wanted to share with you, knowing that Boeing is continuing with their project. They had a little setback but keeping in mind that in a large project like this, with a big budget, with big teams, sometimes things happen. But the main thing is we need to keep in mind that we always want to be safe, or as safe as possible, for the humans in the projects. So that's the key thing here. So if you've enjoyed this video, please tell me. You can put the comments below. If you have clarification questions, put your questions below. And also, I always look at your comments to answer them, and I use your ideas for new videos on this channel. In the meantime, I'm going to put here another link here to another video I did, maybe on the Starlink. Let's see what I can do, and I'll see you there.